I'm Michael Downs, live at 74 Rosemont Street in Hartford, Connecticut. This is only a couple of blocks from my home, and I also am part of the Northeast NRZ, and we did plan this. This was planned several years ago, and I often wondered why we hadn't completed the empty lots that are west of Clark Street on Naugatuck, and also they're south of, just south of, or on the south side of Earl Street, and there's some empty lots there, and certainly this would enhance that area, and I'm in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of Mr. Downs? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Downs. Anyone speaking against? Anyone else speaking in favor?
Good evening, council members. How's everyone tonight?
Good evening.
My name is Denise Best. I live at 12 Deerfield Avenue in North Hartford. I am also the chair of the Upper Albany NRZ. I'm here to speak in favor of the Westland Street Brackett Knoll project, which is in the Promise Zone. I can't even, if you haven't been over to see this project, all you need to do is drive by and you can see the impact that it has had on a community, on a street that has been problematic for decades. Excuse me, the impact that it has had on Westland Street is phenomenal. It's the broken window theory in reverse, because existing homeowners are now taking better care of their properties to keep up with the new property owners. This was an opportunity to control blight in that neighborhood. It provides quality and affordable housing for first-time homeowners. And let me just say again, quality housing, and that's so important, because also often these new developments are thrown up and they are not quality. These definitely are. It's increasing the tax base. It increases job development for the site. The neighbors who live there on Westland Street will tell you themselves what an impact those new homeowners have had and that development has had on Westland Street. And again, I'll just say, if you have not seen it, all one needs to do is go over there and you can see the difference that it has made. I cannot see any reason why you wouldn't want to support this project. I can see several reasons why you would. And I'm sure and I'm hopeful and I have faith that you will make the right decision. Thank you.
Any questions? No? All right, anybody speaking against? Anybody else speaking in favor of?
My name is Vicki Gallen Clark. I'm the Deputy Director of the Blue Hills Civic Association. I live at 105 Granby Street in Hartford, and I am actually representing the Blue Hills Civic Association tonight. We are supportive of the resolution authorizing the sale of city-owned land on Naugatuck Street so that the Terrell Development Corporation can implement Phase 2 of the Brackett Knoll project, which consists of 14 family home ownership homes. You heard from Denise just now, and I'd just like to reiterate that we're looking at job creation. We're looking at increased tax base, which we desperately need in the city of Hartford. And we're looking at increased home ownership. When I looked at the number of home ownership, or the percentage of home ownership in Hartford, I was mortified, 29%. And so any project that is going to produce all of these positive factors, employment, job creation, quality home ownership, increased tax base, really has to be supported. And again, as Denise said, I know that you will make the right decision, and thank you so much.
Anyone else speaking against? Anyone speaking against? Anyone else in favor?
Hello, my name is Roshan Finn, and I'm a resident at 72 Westland Street. So I bought one of the properties, and I've been there for 3 years now. So I'm in favor, and I feel like it's a good project to have. And all of our neighbors, we are close, and we have met and get to know each other, and it just seems like a good space to have and build up the community. So in back of us is where the project would actually be. So I feel like it would be good to fill in that space with more new homes so we could have more new families instead of just like an empty space where people are just wandering around and randomly going through that neighborhood. So I feel like it's a good project, and me and my family, we do love living there. And the builders, they are very personable, and they haven't left us since the 3 years. So I would say that I still can call them if there's any issues or if I need any new work. So he is a good, well, Al Gary is the one that I contact the most, but he's really good at like keeping in touch and keeping in contact and making sure everything is all right. So they won't just leave the residents high and dry, and it's a good opportunity for new homeowners and low income to have a fresh start in a brand new house. So I think it's a good project.
And Ms. Richard, how do you spell your last name?
F as in Frank, I-N-N. F-I-N-N.
F-I-N?
2 N's.
F-I-N-N. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone speaking against? Anyone else speaking in favor of?
Good evening. My name is Toretta Augustus. I live at 412 Barber Street, Apartment 3, here in Hartford.
Okay, hold on, you're going
I
fast.
am, pardon
Hold
me?
on. What's the last name?
Augustus, A-U-G-U-S-T-U-S.
And the address again?
412 Barber Street,
All right, go ahead.
and I am I'm qualified to buy one of these houses. I've been looking forward for this for some time now. I've been in constant contact with Mr. Al and Mr. Knighton. And I mean, every time I call, I hear, oh, soon, but then I hear, oh, something has happened. It got pushed back for whatever reason. And I have 4 children. And we've, my husband and I, we've talked to them about this, and they've been looking forward to it. And, I think, as all the other people that stood before me, it's a good thing for the neighborhood, to build up the neighborhood. Rochelle said, it really prompts people to take care of their properties. And I've been over to her house. I've seen it. It is very nice. I remember the first time I found out about these properties, they were finishing the last project on Westland Street. And I called up Mr. Knighton, and he said, oh, sure, you can come over and look at the houses. I went, and I said to my husband and I are like, yeah, we need to get one of these. As a young family coming up in the neighborhood, it's good to keep families, working families in the neighborhood. And I just feel it's a really good project, to build up the community, the tax incentive that comes with it, and just the stability of the community in general is very good. So I am very much in favor, and I'm looking forward to moving to my house soon. So I hope everything goes well tonight, and by summertime, I can be in my house. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else anybody against? Anybody else speaking in favor of? Mr. Terrell, could you come to the mic? Because I have a couple of questions. Al? Gary? Yeah. I said Terrell. I call him Terrell because that's the business name. Yeah, I had just a few questions.
Sure.
Because, we were there with the first development. So I'm happy to know that you are still around. But I just had some questions about a conversation came up around jobs. Do you know what number of jobs might be created during the project?
Well, it's difficult to say the number, but these are all trades. We are proud of the fact that we can get 85% of the project, or of the total dollar amount, into small businesses, Hartford businesses. We feature utilizing all of the Hartford trades and Hartford people is more. That's not coming out right. Is high of a number of those that we can.
Okay.
And the number that we have to satisfy is like 25% or something like that. We just knocked that one right out. We don't even look at that. We do 85%. You want to add to that,
Yeah, I
Ralph?
want to add to it. In the first phase, our project provided employment opportunities for Hartford residents. And in phase one, 69% of the hours worked on that job were performed by
You
Hartford
said
residents.
69% of the hours?
Yeah, of the hours worked on that job. And 49% of the hours were by minority and female trade workers. This can be verified by the City of Hartford's procurement department. They're the ones that came out and monitored the job and everything. So this is not something we're making up. It's substantiated in the city government records.
And other local and minority contractors other than yourselves?
Yes, there were different trades, plumbers, carpenters, electricians, John Givens. John's Plumbing, C.F. Reed. Who else do we have out there?
And how
Yeah,
many of
Steve
them are from
Holter was
Hartford?
out there with his group in one of the houses.
How many of them are from Hartford?
69% of the people that
No,
work
the contractors, the contractors.
49% of
49,
them were
okay.
from Hartford.
Those are Hartford suppliers.
Yeah, and we also use Hartford suppliers, Max, Kitchen Express, Hartford Lumber. So most of the businesses in the area do benefit from the work that we do.
Okay, and then I just have one more question. I don't know if anybody else have any. When does the application process begin for people who want to purchase the
It's
homes?
ongoing. We're taking them every day whenever someone comes in. Like the young lady said, she's qualified, she's into the bank, she has a letter of commitment. And those are the major things that we look for, people that, one, meet the income criteria, and then we refer them to various banks for the banks to work with them on their credit, and they get housing counseling from the Urban League, and CRT also does housing counseling.
Okay, so there's a viewing audience that's not inside this room that's watching, so can you let them know how they can contact
They can call
you all?
me or Abe or Al. My number is 860-995-8004.
It's into the mic, and
Okay.
what's the location? Is there a physical location that they can come to?
We are at 15 Lewis Street at Headco, and if they call me 860-995-8004, I
And
can
the
make an
hours that you're
anytime.
open?
Anytime. It's up to their
Don't say
schedule.
any time, because maybe at 11:30 at night, I want to go.
I've been to people's home on the weekend, at night, whatever it takes to get it done.
All right, thank you. Any other questions?
I had one.
Councilwoman Jennings?
Yes, thank you, gentlemen. I have seen that property. I walked out, you all walked me through like 3 or 4 of them, and they are beautiful.
Yeah.
They are fabulous. And one of the questions that I had was, what are you talked about income limits. What are the income requirements to purchase one of those homes?
It ranges from $40,000 to $60,000, but if you have a large family, the income range, increases. So basically, it's people that are working, and we also include the rental income to qualified families. So in some cases, we have some families that have been a little less than 40, but because of the rental income, they were able to qualify.
Okay,
So
thank
it all
you.
depends on their income, and also, again, their credit ratings, but we're willing to work with them and refer them to various agencies to get them in a position to qualify.
Thank you.
If I may, I'd like
Sure.
to add one thing. We brag about this as being wealth building, and that's what we do. When you close the door, you have $40,000 of equity in your house. These houses appraise out at $240,000, and some of the owners are eligible for a $40,000 gap to make it more affordable for them. So they have $40,000 in equity as soon as they move in, and that's wealth building.
No, that's great. I'm just so glad that you're still around and we didn't run you off yet, so.
One more thing. If you want to look at the project itself, we have a website. It's called bracketnode.com, and it has all the information. It has pictures of the interior, pictures of the exterior, and it also has a sheet that says how the financing works. So you can get a lot of information at that website,
Okay.
bracketnode.com.
I was gonna ask you, what's the website again?
bracketnode.com.
Excuse me,
BRACKETKNOLL.com.
Thank you.
More
All right,
questions?
so that closes out the item number 1. Thank you all for speaking. The next item that we have is item number 2. It's an ordinance amending Chapter 32, Article 18 of the Municipal Code of the City of Hartford for a purpose of extending the elderly tax relief program for taxes due on the list that will be provided, that the list was provided October 2017. Is there anybody speaking in favor of item number 2?
Michael Downs, 74 Rosemont Street in Hartford. I certainly am in favor of extending the tax credits for the elderly, being elderly myself. But even if I weren't, it's something that, it's a program that we need in the city to help the elderly, to help keep them in home ownership and keep them in the city. So I'm in favor of this item.
Is there anyone speaking against? Anyone else in favor? Anyone against? Anyone in favor? Anyone against? So just to give our audience some information about the tax relief for the elderly, the person must be 65 years of age and older, or his or his spouse must be 65 years of age or older and reside with the person. Or the person is 60 years of age and have a survivor taxpayer who would have qualified had they not had their death. The person has to be a resident of the city for the period of 1 year immediately preceding the application for the tax relief. Property for the tax credit is claimed is a legal domicile for such person and is occupied by such person for at least 183 days per year. Persons qualifying income individually is unmarried during the calendar year preceding the claim of tax relief shall not exceed $46,000, $47,600, or jointly if married not to exceed $52,600. So anyone wanting to come down, can come to the tax office and have conversation about how to participate in the tax relief for the elderly. So if there are no other questions, that's going to be the conclusion of item number 2 and the end of this public hearing. Thank you all for joining us.